I think I'm live. Am I live? I think I'm live. Welcome one, welcome all. Sunday evening hangout, solo at least for now. We'll see how it goes. I hope everyone's doing well. Haven't talked to a few you cats in a while. What's been up? I've been busy. We got Richie married. Richie is now married. We'll talk about that. Yeah, let me see. Who do we have in the chat here? We got Fender Guru. We got Scott Nickerson. Hey, buddy. We got Soda Pop. We got Frank C. We got Groovy Ghoulie himself. Got, hey, Boogie. Good to see ya. What a race today, eh? Ooh. David Ennis. Good to see ya. I'm doing well. I'm just about recovered from last night. I didn't tie one on too hard, but it's been a long week, folks. Hey, Dry Heat. Yeah. 2-day bachelor party, so we didn't do the show on Thursday because honestly, by showtime, we weren't exactly, feeling up to a show, we'll say. And then, of course, the big event yesterday, so excuse me. So, yeah, been a long week, been off work for a week, so back to work tomorrow. So, you guys have any questions, comments, talking gear, usual stuff. Hey, Mayhem. Good to see you. Maybe I'm using Hangouts, so if maybe have someone jump in or something like that, we'll see how it goes. Jeff Ripplinger, good to see you. Mayhem, how are you recovered from last night? He was out watching a show. Hey, Johnny Bean. What's new? Richie is a married man. Yes, he is currently off on his honeymoon. Michael Bishop. Yeah, so went off without a hitch for the most part, other than I was supposed to play a piece, but I sprained my thumb the other day, so I haven't been playing. It's not reversed. Yeah, because I'm using Hangouts. I know, it's crazy. Hey, Adam. Good to see you. Yeah, Shane, our drummer from the Honey Badger outfit, was the MC and DJ last night, so that was awesome. So I was hanging out with him. So that was fun, we're joking how we hang out, but it's always work, right? So it's either at a practice or a gig or something. You're sure you have some downtime, but it's not like we just get together and hang out ever. So it was really cool. Saw lots of friends. Good times. Good times. Everyone's saying howdy to each other. Not back. You didn't recognize me because I'm not backwards. Nice. Nice, Johnny. Sundays I usually use Hangouts. Oh, actually, I don't remember the last time I didn't use Hangouts on a Sunday. It's only Sundays where I'm not backwards. We'll just say that. We got here. Oh. Spam. Don't need to worry about it. So I hope everyone had a good week, good weekend. JP Page 2. Hey, Ben, let's talk guitar. Sure. What would you like to discuss, sir? I've been out of the loop. I'll be honest. I've basically been off social media for the most part since, Wednesday morning, I think. Wednesday afternoon. What happened on the Late Show? Yeah, it looked like it was deleted for a while. Maybe it's back. Yeah, we could discuss that, Frank. The screen door. No, haven't heard yet, but I did a quick repair job on it, so it looked pretty good. So, yeah. Fortunately, I didn't rip the screen. Yeah, I didn't even break stride. Somebody closed the screen door. I turned around to go in, and it was the time of day I didn't even see the screen door, and I didn't even break stride. Just boof, right through it, and it went flying across the living room. It was pretty impressive. All right, practiced a ton over the weekend. What do you think of the new Wampler pedal? What is the new Wampler pedal? Like I say, I've been out of the loop. I'm curious. Everyone's saying hey to each other. Quentin James in the house. Yes, I'm curious. What is this new pedal? Piqued my curiosity. So, That's what I'm curious about. I haven't been on. It's a King of Tone clone. Oh, really? I'd be curious to check that out. Yeah, Brian Wampler built some decent stuff, so price point is okay. And excuse me, wouldn't mind checking it out. I've never really played with King of Tone though myself. Pantheon, something like that. Okay. JPage 2 or JP Page 2 reporting in. Yeah, how'd that go, Michael Bishop? I did. I was on. Was that on Facebook? You had some photos posted. How was that? 8 new pedals for me in the last week. Yes. Did you not get rid of your Line 6 Groovy? And then I've got back to the dark side of the Stomp boxes. That's nice to see. 22 people watching. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm curious. 8 new pedals. So what'd you get anyways, Groovy? I saw the post, some of the stuff you had already, and then Citizen Kane, Mark Dillon. Howdy, guys. Let me see both drop in. So I'm curious. More thumbs. More. Hey, Mayhem, do you want to jump in? It's been a while since you've been on, sir. Let me know if you're available. Sorry for the dead air, folks. Just thinking of what to go on next. It's been a while since I've been doing a solo job here. So, see, TC Electronic, Flashback 2, Dim Electro, Billionaire, Filthy Rich Tram, ooh, Joy Analog Chorus, MXR Phase 90, nice. Op Amp, Big Muff, they're cool. Vintage Overdrive, nice. A bunch of Joyo stuff, cool. I gotta check out that Joyo stuff. I haven't really tried it. That's the late show. There we go, folks who haven't checked it out yet. I got a lot of catching up to do. Hey, Pete, you're not even that late. I actually started a bit early. It's back up. Okay. Well, we know what I'm catching up on. I'm back to work tomorrow. Early show and late show. And everybody else's shows that have taken place since Wednesday. I just sent you a direct invite, Mayhem, if you want to jump in. And for that matter, Johnny, if you want to jump in, up to you. So yeah, I haven't even played guitar since Wednesday. Sucks. So, slept weird or something. Pinched a nerve in here, so my thumbs felt like it's asleep. It's just about back to normal. Oh, stiff though, and sore. Yeah. Do basically anything but play guitar. Anybody else looking at any new gear soon? See, some of the stuff is creeping out, it seems like. Old Man Dan, good to see you. Anybody hankering? Or can somebody tell me what's up with this Les Paul challenge? I went online a bit today and I see everybody posting Les Paul videos. Just curious on that one. I saw like something, get your Pauls out or Les Pauls. Did we do any fishing up at the cottage? No. There were a few fishermen amongst us. I was not one, but nobody managed to remember to bring rods. We remembered the beer, but we forgot any fishing rods. But yeah, you guys hadn't seen it. There's a little video on the channel here. I did a little after day one of the cottage. So yeah, there's lots of bags of chips around and a few empties laying about. Well, the guys were off golfing and I shot that. Hey, sis. Actually, while they were off golfing, I restrung a guitar and then I sat on the dock there on the lawn chair, read a book, and it was so peaceful. I just totally just decompressed. Rick declared it Les Paul week, Ben. Okay. Who's Rick? Just refresh me. I'm bad with names. But then again, if someone declares it Les Paul week, I can understand that. Popular guitar. Quite a few people can pull them out. All right. Guess he wants a link. Hey, Ty. How you doing, buddy? Excuse me. Will they send me that message on? What did you send that message on, Mayhem? Oh, through Hangouts. All right. Well, I sent you a direct invite, Mayhem. Did you get that already? Send it again. There. Invitation posted. Hey, Bobby. We don't know for sure if we've lost the deposit yet. Yeah, that we don't know. I don't think we did any other damage to the place. Like I say, I plausibly fixed the screen door. So as long as the people that rent out the Airbnb aren't watching this, and I saw no indication in the home that would indicate that there was, in fact, musical people there. There he is.
Hey, man.
I'm going to turn you up a bit. Let me know if you start getting an echo.
Nope, no echo.
Awesome. How's it going, buddy? How was the show last night?
It was really good. I'm glad I drove out. It was a bit longer than of a drive. It was about an hour to get out there, and had to get gas.
And where'd you go last night?
We went to Port Hope. It was called. It's a hotel, so it's like a hotel and top bar in the bottom, and it's called the GAN.
Oh, so you went to see Guitar Hack play?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I did manage to get out to there, and he was a little worried when I got there at 10 o'clock ish. Right. I'm like, don't worry, there's no crowd till 11 o'clock, right? So exactly, the Port Hope folks started showing up as soon as a little after 11. The bar started filling up. People got on the dance floor, and the beer was going and stuff. It was really good.
Nice. Awesome.
Flawless gig, no flubs, no nothing. They sounded really good. The only downside, I think, it's not even a performance thing, but the lighting had a lot of red. So every time I use my camera to take photos or do the video, it's really red washed. Like it's like a bright pink. But yeah, they sounded terrific. I mean, they had it set. The levels were really good. Everything came through. Guitar Hack's sound, as a lead, came through really good. The singing was really good, and I had a blast. Maybe awesome. Went to any beer, but
well, I see. That was the we were messaging back and forth a bit yesterday, but like you said, you were messaging me, and it was wedding day, right? So it's like checking my phone sporadically here and there, remembering that you have it in airport mode, stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, and I never even clued in. I thought, oh, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go check out this band. I'm like, oh, that's cool, sure, And then I never clued in, and all of a sudden I went, wait a minute, okay, and that's what I was like. Yeah, you went to Port Hope. Okay, I'm like, well, Pepper was playing in Port Hope. Okay.
Well, I knew
it. Spend some time with him between sets.
Oh yeah, it was really cool. We got to hang out. I got to kind of get to know the guy a little bit, and he's really cool. Yeah, and I know he'll probably watch this in the replay. He's way too modest. He's a phenomenal guitarist. He went on about a lot of the guys that hang around our channels and stuff in the community. But boy, he was really playing really well last night. The whole band did a really good job. It was fun to watch.
Nice.
Nice. When they get the people up and dancing to the songs, you can always tell it's a good band, right? Like people have started moving around and whatnot. And it was really good. Yeah, we got to chat between songs. Do you want to hear the funny story that happened last night?
What's that?
All right, so because I'm a car guy more than a guitar guy, I wanted to have a photo of the band with my car because I drove the Camaro up last night, and I think I sent you the photo. It was kind of quiet, and it's Port Hope, so if people don't know the city of Port Hope, it's a small town off the 401 of main highway, but it's a small kind of a town, and there's probably 2 police officers on duty. Saturday night, they just wrapped up a movie. I think they filmed the sequel to the Stephen King movie. It was filmed in Port Hope. They're just wrapping it up, so people were out and about. And I pulled the Camaro in front of the hotel to get a photograph, but it's all blocked off for like taxi cabs, right? But I just wanted to run in and get a photo, come out because the lighting was really, really good. And they're still putting their gear away, and the police officers that were on duty, and 2 vehicles had parked across the parking lot, wondering, what's this idiot drunk Camaro driver going to be doing? Like, I thought I was going to do a donut show or, burnout or something. I wasn't thinking that way because I just wanted to get a photo.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, I can't take a photo here now because now it's a scene and there's people up front waiting to like see what's going to happen. So I pulled the car out of the parking lot, and I think the police officer think I was trying to kind of skirt a DWI. Right. And I wasn't. I mean, I think I was tired more than anything else, but we were there for quite a few hours. I mean, I left at like 2:30, and I might have had 2 or 3 beer, but I was definitely not impaired, for the record. Otherwise I would have got a ticket probably. But they waited for me to leave, right? And they followed me, and then I passed another police officer. No, they didn't follow me. What happened was I left Port Hope, which is downtown. They had set a little roadblock up a couple miles down off on the way to the exit. And there was one of the guys in the SUVs on the entrance ramp waiting for me to hit the 401, and they followed me to the Coburg exit. And I just sorry, fellas, you're not, there's no Camaro crazy driving tonight. I just put on cruise control 110 and just stayed in the driving lane. And I know they were expecting some kind of amazing like race or burnout or something, and it never happened. Right. I was like, it was pretty funny, but they were waiting for me, Ben. They if I had done anything wrong, that wrong signal light or whatever, I would have been getting a ticket. They wanted any.
Oh, the joys of driving a muscle car in small town Ontario with one cops, right?
Yeah, and bored as hell. They circled that thing like 10 times, waiting for me to leave.
Yeah. They're not the type that would come up and knock out your tail light with a nightstick, but if they see something already in place, they will definitely nail you on it.
Well, I think I was okay when I parked in front of the place on the other side of the street, but when I moved the Camaro around for the photo, they wonder what the hell is this guy doing? Like, is he gonna do something crazy or I don't know, but they didn't know I was trying to do a photo. So then I moved the car around back and we took the photo, and it was fine. But they were waiting for something to happen. I don't know. They might have been really bored with all the action of the photo or the movie shoot and stuff. But
yeah, a lot of energy in the town, right?
Yeah, it was an awesome night though. It was a terrific night.
Good. That's awesome. And I'm gonna have Guitar Hack on as my co-host this coming Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Always enjoy hanging out with him. So. Yes.
So you didn't play the hand injury?
No, I didn't play. And actually, it kind of made sense, too, because then we would have had an odd number for bridesmaids and groomsmen.
Right.
Because everybody walks up in pairs, and I actually thought about that. I was like, well, actually, this worked out well, because there would have been an odd number. So, so yeah, I found in a nice acoustic version, like basically what I was playing anyways. And just looped it. Unfortunately, there was another local musician there, so he just grabbed the chair right next. Used my Viper amp to play it through, and he had everything queued up. And so yeah, we played this beautiful little acoustic number, and then I played Dire Straits' "Romeo and Juliet" during the signing and stuff, and the walkout.
Yeah, I was just watching the chat. Smoking the Bandit. The cops always ruin a good burnout. I know it's a guitar channel, but I have tons of car stories. Probably way more than that.
Thrash Metal says, I missed the beginning. What year Camaro?
It's a 2011 V8 2.6 liter convertible. It's the first year of the convertible for the Camaro, the new, the Generation 5. And it's silver with black stripes.
Very cool. And I've driven that car. Yes.
Yeah, you did. That's right.
Which apparently now I'm not going to be working full-time in Napanee anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Splitting time between Napanee and Trenton, and my hours have been reduced. But I have weekends off basically going forward.
Oh, that's good.
And yeah, and then a lot of Mondays and Fridays off along with the weekends. So
Okay.
that way, if I want to do a late night hangout, like tonight, for instance, I'll have Mondays off. So it's like every other Monday off for that. And so they're like, yeah, they hired a guy out of Kingston. So it kind of makes sense, right? You got a guy coming from Kingston, so it's closer.
Sure.
So yeah, a few less hours. So
well, I can tell you,
more time for YouTube and music.
You're gonna be missed at the shop. Everybody, you're in the shop. I see people when I come up, and I'm like, "Oh, your car's not there." I'm like, "Man, I just need to get something to eat or whatever."
Yeah.
I've seen other people do that as well.
Oh yeah, I know. There. Oh, I know. But hey, what do I know, right?
It's a business, business decisions. So, but at least you're still there. To some, maybe a little lesser, but at least you're still there.
Oh yeah, like I'll still be split. Yeah, like half my shifts will be there anyways, half or more. So, but then again, now I have a 6-kilometer commute to work.
Well,
on the other days, right?
And you don't have the treachery of the 401 between Napanee and Belleville either. That's
yeah, with winter coming.
With winter, yeah. So, have you had much time with the new telly, since you've had the hand injury and you've been really busy?
Yeah, I got a couple of weeks in it. It's already gone through a set of strings, so
okay.
Yeah, it's already. I haven't picked it up in I don't know, almost a week, but been busy.
That Kramer's starting to look pretty nice, Ben. Now that you get the new telly.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking actually I might be getting rid of the Fibson. So.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, because I've kind of been talking to Travis about building me a Les Paul style guitar, but a little more me.
Right. Well, I was telling Guitar Hack, this might be blasphemous for people on the channel, but I've been looking at AliExpress, and they don't sell them in North America, but it's not obviously a Gibson Les Paul, but it comes with P90s and full Floyd Rose in it, stock right from there, and they're like 230 Canadian, no case. I think they'll throw in a case for 55 Canadian. I think it would be a good starter guitar to kind of customize, something that you're not really, there's a little investment, throw a couple $100 worth of parts on it. It might be actually a nice guitar, as long as the neck and the body's okay.
Right.
But, still a bit of a gamble, it's not like you get to see it and play it, it's different if you're buying a used guitar and you want to port, so at least you have it in your hand, at the shop or the store to try it out. This one's a real big gamble because you don't know if the neck is bent. What are you going to do? Send it back?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you get, if you even get it, right?
Yeah, it's like that's when you have to be willing to light the fire, light it on fire if it doesn't work. So,
hey, we got BV Ninja here. He's here and awake.
Hey, BV.
So yeah, if you guys have any gear questions, hey R2, good to see you, bro. A little late to the party, but that's quite all right. See, he wanted to be a bit of a crowd before he showed up, right? Make a nice entrance. So yeah, we had a great time up at that cottage for a couple of days. Man, it was just laid back, just shooting the breeze for hours on end.
What was
my good buddy Dan, who is a childhood friend of Rich's.
Okay.
I know him because he's a local bass player / electrician / lighting guy for shows, and that's how I knew him. And I swear, we talked more in 2 days than we have in the 8 years I've known him previously. Because it's always 10-minute conversations at parties or gigs. So to just sit back for hours on end and just talk. And we talked gear, we talked about life, just everything.
Awesome.
And Rich had a blast.
That's good. Where was the cottage? Where exactly was it?
Glen Ross.
Glen Ross. Is that north of Trenton?
No, it's just by a few kilometers southwest of Sterling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, you turn west just south of Sterling on it was Rosebush Road.
Okay.
Right on the Trent River.
Nice.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Did I tell
Lando, good to see you. He was just asking what got stolen from Ardens. I don't know. I haven't got the list yet. I asked for a list, and I should be getting it tomorrow because I'm going to do a video on that because that wasn't cool. For those that don't know, the Kingston Ardens got broken into over the weekend, and I saw some missing spots, some missing hangers. So yeah, I'm sure they got at least a couple of fender items. And judging by where they were on the wall, they were nice fender items. They knew what they were looking for. Okay. As soon as they took a couple acoustics too.
So probably I was in there. Maybe shouldn't say that, but I was in there not too long ago, and they had a couple of really nice guitars. A couple American Strats, I think. Or were they Mexicans? But anyway, that store always had a nice supply. It didn't have a lot of stock, but they had nice stock.
Yeah.
It was either really expensive or it was like
adding
affordable.
by the week. Have you noticed that? They're adding lines by the week.
At the Kingston store?
All 3 stores.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess
2 weeks ago they added Gretsch, and then last week they announced Epiphone.
They had, when I was there, they had that, was it a PRS? I forget. It's that one, it's at the Trenton store too. It's like a green and black burst.
Okay. I think that was an LTD, or was it a Jackson?
Yeah, it might have been an LTD or Jackson. I think it might have been an LTD.
Yeah.
But I didn't see any Gretchen there the last time I was
there. The Gretches only literally just came in the last couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
Slowly. Like, it was like a couple per store, then they got a few more. Like, I think they literally staggered it. They ordered half a dozen, like 2 per store, several days apart, multiple orders. So they just, that way, okay, we can move stuff around because, well, you know, they get overstocked fast.
Right. It's a nice store in Kingston too. I mean, the parking lot's a little small.
It's a beautiful store. Yeah.
I was actually at the Trenton store last week. I think it was Thursday night, maybe Wednesday. I can't remember what night. But it said they're open till like 7. I left at like a little after 5, and I get there, it's like 6, and they're closed. So they must be on their winter hours or whatever. But yeah, I think they had an Explorer body. I don't remember. It might have been a Dean. And one of
they should be open till 8 now on Thursdays.
The store was completely closed, and I was there at like 7:30ish or whatever. So I thought they closed maybe at 6.
It just changed back in the last couple of weeks. The new school season started. So unless, it's possible that if there's no lessons, they may have closed early. Okay. If they have none on a particular night, because most lessons are on Tuesday nights, and then Mondays and Wednesdays fill in next.
Okay.
Because generally when you have your kids in whatever recreation post school, after school activity or evening activity, you try to do it earlier in the week.
Well, that makes sense.
I don't know why. What do I know? I don't have kids. I just know these things.
Yeah. He's not on any list or anything.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I know my friends that have kids are always busy earlier in the week and generally freer later in the week.
Well, if they're not playing hockey and it's Canada, what else are you going to do, right? I mean, all the sports for the summer are wrapped up, soccer, baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's indoor soccer too, but it was a nice drive anyway. Trenton's a nice little drive. The roads are kind of confusing at the bottom where they switch.
Yeah.
When you get right to the downtown part, but it was a nice drive.
We had a report in BV saying Steve Vai is back on stage doing Going Down a few minutes ago. Nice.
R2, hey man. I don't know how far behind him in the chat. I didn't switch it to live chat. I guess I should do that.
Citizen says he bought a Fractal Axe 8 after seeing Larry Mitchell play on Johnny's channel. Very nice. And Eddie Van Haskell says hockey's 365 there.
Yeah. Yeah, even me, I remember always having the sniffles when we were in the summer because you play hockey, right? So
hockey's year round, right?
And even if you didn't play, and your parents did, you got dragged to the arena. You sat in the cold. I remember going to the Memorial Center all the time. It was, you're always freezing. You go outside, and you can see your breath.
Well, geez, even look at like in Napanee, they had ice all summer, I think, in the one pad.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure
I
they do
remember even
summer
when I went
hockey.
to Northern Pike show, while we were waiting for the concert to start, there was a hockey clinic going on the other pad, and I'm like, summertime. What's going on here?
That's that Strathcona Paper Mill Arena. It's a great hockey, but they kind of flubbed it. They could have did some pretty nice concert venues there. I mean, it's great when they de-ice it and they have the open floor, but
Yeah,
there's not a lot of seating.
right. Yeah,
But hockey pays the bills, so you know.
that's right. And nobody goes to see live music anymore.
I did last night,
That's right.
and I did the weekend before
Bucking
at
the
the Voodoo
trend.
Fest. Man, I guess the last couple of weeks I've seen some music. Have you ever heard, Ben, of the Rock the Brook? It's a concert that goes on once in the summer, like the end of summer, September-ish.
Whereabouts?
It's in Northbrook,
Huh.
and it's pure metal. There's no, it's just all metal, all metal all day.
Oh, yeah.
I had fun. We went there. We went there a couple weekends ago. Me and my wife did. The
Okay,
band,
baby. No rude jokes. Fine. Can I just say I'm just green with envy?
Soda Pop asked, "How many guitars do I own?" I own 3 good guitars, and I own a nice, single, nice acoustic, and then I have a couple of other junk guitars, like a first stack.
Scott Nixon, how were the Northern Pikes live? Really good. Really good. Yeah. Like, that was I think last year was the first time they toured in ages. You know, like other than doing sporadic shows in and around, you know, where they're out of Saskatchewan, I believe. Saskatoon. I thought they were Saskatoon or Regina band, something like that. They did. They pared down. They're a 4-piece instead of a 5-piece now. Yeah, which, you know, it's funny because in Canadian music, it's usually if you need the money, you go out on tour. If you're an American band, you know, you reform, go out on tour to make the money. Whereas Canadian, because there's so little money even in touring in Canada, if you have a decent day job, you don't go out on tour. And he probably had the best. He probably has made a career outside of music in some way, shape, or form. Like I think he had a construction company or something like that, so it just didn't work out. But yeah, they were great live, really good live.
You don't cover any of the Northern Pike songs, do you?
No. I think I used to know a couple. Richie and I were talking about it, but you know, they're one of those bands that can do a nice straightforward song, but there's like a complicated bridge, or even worse, trying to do their vocals justice because they have some of the best harmonies.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Guitar Hack, we were talking about you earlier. Heard you had quite the gig last night.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good Guitar Hack. I mean, I had a blast. It was worth the drive. And, and when you rewatch this, I go back about 20 minutes from now, and you'll hear the story about my car ride home.
Hey, we got 41 people watching. Nice. Thanks, all.
That thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up.
Jason Wade. Everyone's jumping in. Nice. Todd Flowers.
So how
everyone's jumping in.
How late did you guys party last night, Ben? You and Rich and the party?
I left earlier. I left around 11:30, quarter to 12, I think. Like, it just got to the point where I was sipping on beer and I was basically sober, and I'm just like, you know what? It's been a long day. I just want to go have a bite to eat and lay down. And I crashed for about 10 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I think Rich's dad said it best after the rehearsal dinner. He sat down next to me. He goes, "So, how are you holding up?" Because he knows I have my aches and pains and such.
Sure.
Right? I'm like, "Oh, you know, I'm hanging in there, bud. You know, hanging in there." He's like, "Yeah, well, you've been trying to keep up with a few young lads all week." I was like, yeah. Like, because Rich's younger brother was with us, and he's 16 years younger than me and in shape. You know?
Makes a difference. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I had a good 10 years at least on everybody, so I held up pretty good. Just.
Did you guys put photographs on Facebook yet from the wedding party?
I didn't take any. I think a few people did. So I think anybody that's friends with Rich on Facebook should see them if he's tagged in them, right?
Because everybody wants to see you in a suit, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Let's see. Actually, I think I did a selfie with Richie. So let me see here. Oh yeah, here we are. Let's see if it's too bright or not. Come on.
Focus.
Come on.
You have to put it on Facebook for everybody.
Yeah, so let me see here. I'll turn down the brightness a bit too. Sometimes that helps.
You guys clean up good, Ben.
Good God. You know, it was funny. The wedding took place at a cottage right on Lake Ontario, like in Presqu'île. And we both went to town with the hair products. And I'll tell you, that ponytail stayed in place just until the photos ended. And as we're leaving, my hair was getting bigger by the minute. All right, let's see if that focuses a little better. You can kind of see it. I didn't have the jacket. Richie just had the jacket, so yeah, you can kind of see it.
You look like you're the muscle in that picture, Ben.
I'll probably use it as a thumbnail on a later show.
Okay.
And then we have from the wedding reception me getting kissed by my drummer.
And that's Shane, right?
That's sexy Shane right there. Yeah. So
I love you, man.
Ties off, hair's down.
Looks like you guys had a lot of fun. And now Richie is made his wife I forget whatever woman I forget what they say when someone gets married.
They're a good pair. Yeah, Steph was probably the best thing that's ever had. Like I can say, like I've known them both about the same time, and they've been together for half that time.
Okay.
So, I knew them both independently, and I've known them together. So it sounds like a cliche you would hear in a wedding speech, but it's true. And she has definitely drawn in the wild card known as Richard Shanahan, and he has definitely brought her out of her shell a bit more.
Okay. So he's made an honest woman of her now, right? Officially. He's married. I think that's what they say.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, they're honeymooning down in Pelee Island.
Okay.
So, and for those who don't know, that's the southernmost point in Canada. It is south of Leamington, Ontario, which is southeast of Detroit. So, yeah. Johnny's headed out. See you, Johnny. Thanks for tuning in.
See you, Johnny.
And if I miss a question in the chat, folks, just type it in again. So apparently I don't have the best eyesight. Oh, Shane just went live.
Guitar Hack, yeah, I got home safe. I was going to actually send you a message, but I was afraid you were driving. You might get distracted because I know you had a long day. So, you would have seen it in the news. So I didn't make it. Some guy's Camaro blows up on the 401. You'd know it's me. So I know, but I get home safe. I drove really slow on the way home. I drove like 115 all the way home. There's no rush, and it was almost no cars on the highway.
Yes, Terry, she's made an honest woman out of Rich. See, I don't mind saying it too because I got thrown under the bus because the screen door incident did make it into Rich's wedding speech.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Right.
And since we still have 37 people watching here, everyone should tune into Guitar Hack tomorrow night at 7 p.m. He's having Johnny Bean on. I will be just getting home from work, so that's what I'll be watching while having some dinner.
Have you Frankenstein my guitar yet?
Not yet. No, I gotta wait. The deal is Travis is working on Rich's guitar first.
Okay.
Because let's be honest, it's already a day late at this point.
Okay, sure.
So he's on that, and he feels terrible about it. So
I'm sure Rich understands.
And then I asked if he could send along a few sets of pickups along with the guitar, all in one package. So then we can just, as soon as the package is here, we can get down to business.
I can't wait to see the different sounds you can make come out of a Tele. I think it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for those videos.
Well, and the funny thing is, I don't know if, we haven't really talked much since he gave me that guitar. We've both been so busy. Oh, you're more than welcome, Guitar Hack. Yeah, like I took that guitar to practice like that night, I think it was. And I'm playing and I'm like, what the hell? I was like, something's off. Right? And I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. And all of a sudden I realized, I'm like, these pickups are crap. Because the guitar plays good.
Right.
But it felt like, like it's just like it was lacking in tone and output. Like there was less gain. They're lower output than most of my stuff. And yeah, and the tone variety wasn't the best either. And I went, and then I thought, dude, thank you so much again for lending it to me, because I'm like, this is the perfect platform. Because as soon as I put a set of pickups in, I'll be like, yes, this guitar sounds good.
Right.
Then we know they're a marked improvement, at least over those.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're shooting for. We're not looking to replace, don't take the pickups out of your Elite Telecaster and put mine in. You know, it would be, something for a more affordable guitar.
Right.
Feel free, EJ. Thank you. I appreciate it. And hello, EJ. I didn't see you pop in earlier.
EJ.
Soda Pop, how did I hurt my hand?
Get the popcorn.
After the first night, I woke up. My whole thumb was asleep. I slept on it weird, and I found I was wearing a hair elastic around my wrist, and I think it just totally cut off the circulation. And so it was like tingly, like when your arm's asleep for a few, like it's almost fine now, but it still feels a little tingly. And as such, I found it also hurts if you put lateral pressure like on the tip of your thumb, like if you're bracing a bar chord. So kind of hard to, play. Let's see. Hey, Scotty G, if I didn't say hi already. So that covers that. Yes. Any other questions? But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this whole pickup thing.
Yeah, and a tele body. I mean, but I think that, I know it's an Indonesian Telecaster that I bought, but it's actually pretty good. Like, we didn't have to do a whole lot of setup on it. I mean, the strings are a little tiny bit high on the back. It maybe needs a shim because I watched too many of Dave's World of Fun stuff.
It played fine for me. Like,
and
anything I looked to do on it, it was doing for me. Like, physically, it's sort of like physically it played fine for me, at least. I could dig in when I needed to dig in.
But you said that
I think it might have a high fret. I can't remember where. It seems to me like I did a run and it pinched out one note type thing. Okay. But it's one of those, you're like, oh, there's a high fret. But is it just as quick? I'm in the middle of a damn guitar solo. Sure. So it's like.
Yeah, you're not going to look for it.
Yeah. So, but I figured, the least we'll do is it'll have a nice little setup done on it and stuff. We'll put it at least 15% below factory spec across the board. So make it nice and lean, and a lean, mean telling machine for all that fast picking.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and and there's no worry. Like, I don't care if it gets scratched. I know I don't. I like the guitar, but I'm not. That's not my baby. The Ibanez and the Schecter. They're my two guitars that I cherish.
I don't know about you, but I'd say the Telecaster is the number one shaped guitar, we'll call it, or model guitar that looks good relic.
Oh yeah, I'm.
I like a lot of guitars that are relic, but there's something about a relic Tele.
Oh yeah, Tom Morello. That's what had I not realized that he actually has a Tele, I probably would have bought a black and white Telecaster. And I probably maybe did some stickers and stuff to make it look like his guitar. But I like that. I like that dark burst with the red on the center. I actually wish, I don't know if it's possible, but I like the pick guard on your Telecaster. I think that really shows the belly of the guitar nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it kind of works for the burst, right?
Yeah,
that was the idea. It was supposed to kind of mimic the burst, because we had flirted with the idea of tortoiseshell.
Right.
But tortoiseshell, either the red or the black would get washed out because of the burst. Like, yeah. Although I am still debating possibly a tortoiseshell control cover somehow, some way.
Okay.
Like, you'd almost have to do a vinyl cover. Oh, speaking of which, we can make an announcement because I haven't been live in a while. So yeah, if you order a guitar, and first of all, we have to apologize to Travis because we've been mispronouncing the name of his company since day one. Hey, ZipFix Guitars, welcome. I don't recognize you. Welcome. Awesome. Yeah, we've been mispronouncing the name, and he's been meaning to tell me for 8 months and keeps forgetting himself. It's not Reno Fin, it's Reno Fin, like Reno, Nevada. So, yes, Reno Fin is going to be offering a special Canucks with Guitars coupon code. And you may wonder what you get with that. So let's say you order my guitar and you use the coupon code. You will, I think the offer is a free hardshell case with the Reno Fin logo on the case and the Canucks with Guitars logo on the case as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes, also Travis's father's name. My sister speaks up. Yeah, because she's known Travis since they were like 4 or 5 years old. So
Reno Fin. Oh, how hard is that for us just gonna say after we've been saying Reno Fin for the last 8 months? Reno.
I can't thrash metal. You can't enable super chat unless you're monetized on YouTube. If I have more subscribers, I'd be able to monetize. I haven't sold any guitars yet, EJ. It's only been a couple of weeks. It's a small company, and I'm just me. So I'd be lucky if I sell 3 or 4 a year. Okay, cool. Terry. Well, welcome, Zip. If you like the Hangouts and the videos, if you check out some of the other stuff on the channel, please subscribe. Appreciate it. Oh, cool. BV. So the marathon is over, I take it? Very cool. Oh, okay. A citizen here. We'll just grab the telly because he was asking what the story is on it. Ooh. Now, you have held this, have you not, Mayhem?
I don't remember. It must have. I'm pretty sure you brought it to the store like the first day you got it.
Yeah, I think I just couldn't remember if you'd been in since I picked it up or not.
Remember, I brought my telly in, and you were going to take photos of them on the couch, so I'm pretty sure that I picked it up. I'm pretty sure.
No, we were going to take pictures of the Ibanez and the Kramer together. Was
that what it was?
And I transported your guitar in the Mexican telly case, so I don't think you've actually seen this.
Oh, maybe. Hey, I'll have to rectify that this week.
Mr. Nesdall in the house.
Hey, Dave.
So, yeah, this is Citizen Kane. This is built by Reno Fin Guitars out of Victoria, BC. Worked with Travis. He's one-man operation. And so what it is a Honduras or Honduran mahogany body, Canadian maple neck, no finish, vintage stainless frets, vintage style P90 in the neck, modern P90 in the bridge, modern mini telly style 6-saddle bridge. What do we got? 4-way wiring. So kind of your Nashville telly wiring. Yeah. Price point, $2,000 Canadian, plus shipping. And they're available from renofin.ca. JP Page 2, got to run. See you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Always a pleasure. So, Dave Nesdall, you're starting to feel better? I haven't seen any stuff. I've been offline for the better part of a week. Oh, you bought a gem. Nice. I know you were looking at one. I caught the Tuesday show. Yep, $2,000 Canadian. Hey, Super Fuzz. So yeah, hand built. The original cut, I think he does with CNC now. So, and there is a mild arm cut as well, just to make it a little different.
I have a question for Dave because he's in the chat. What's a Plex machine? Does that refret the guitar?
Oh, a Plex machine?
A Plex machine. I heard something about the Plex machine on one of the videos.
That's a good question. Actually, does Dave want to jump in? Yeah, Dave, if you want to jump in, I could send you the invite. Thank you very much, Citizen King. Yeah, I'm curious to see that.
Oh, levels of frets. Okay. Levels of frets. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard it was going to just display.
Not dressed. Sorry. All right, Dave. That's a good reason. You can explain it here? Sure. Well, it's not bad. This thing's I restrung this the other night, and then it's been basically sitting on a stand and still basically in tune with fresh strings. See ya, EJ? I get it. Shane's got great stuff. I'll catch him on replay. We're getting a few people saying here. Levels fretboards, cuts the nut, balance the guitar, finishes the neck.
Wow, yeah, because I knew it was going to replace a lot of luthiers. They're saying, they're $20,000, but a couple of stores were getting that.
Yes, levels of frets and fretboard, but it's only as good as the person programming it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to be the first 10 people using that, getting your machine guitar done by that machine. And you're like, we've done 1,000. That's when you want to do it.
The website, if you do, Reno Fin or renofin.ca with no triple W. That's the key. No triple W, and it should take you to the site. And he's got all kinds of guitars up there. So really nice stuff. And I just recently found out he also can build like a 335 style guitar. So I may get a semi-hollow body off him because I don't have anything that's semi-hollow body or hollow body for that matter.
What's the Fibson? Is that a solid body?
Oh yeah, it's solid. Yeah.
Because some of them
maple cap,
are hollowed out.
What's that?
Some of the Les Pauls are hollowed out, right?
The ES, they have the F holes.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, there's all the weight relief, which is essentially makes it a semi-hollow body these days anyways.
Okay.
If they're removing what, 30% of the material, what is the tipping point for it to be a semi-hollow body? Because for those who don't know in the chat, you have your complete hollow body guitars. You see them with the F holes, your jazz boxes. Then you have your semi-hollow bodies like a 335, where it's essentially a hollow body, but they run a solid piece of wood through the center of it. And they mount your pickups and everything to that. So it's basically got hollow wings on the center.
Okay.
Solid center. Which gives it its own different tone as well, right?
Is it more of a rich tone? Is that what it does? Is it or does it help to sustain? Like what does the hollow body?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. They do have their own tone, and I can't just say it's like halfway between a hollow body and a solid body.
Right, yeah.
Because it is in some respects, but I don't know. Some of them are brighter. I don't know. I dig them. I find the 335 has a very flat radius fretboard, so it's a little different to get used to. At least I found that with Rich's one. Oh, nice, Dave. Yes. Any other questions in the chat? Man, it's nice to get this thing back in my hands after a bunch of days. Thumb sore, though. I just rest my whole hand against the back and kind of play lead stuff. Has anyone heard any rumors of anything new coming out? Curious. I know, I think I'm going to be off buying guitars for a while once I get riches for them. Especially since I have less hours at the day job now. Got to really put my nose to the grindstone for NAMM.
Start seeing Ben's stuff for sale on Reverb.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm probably going to put a bunch of my amps up on Kijiji because I just don't use them, right? Yes, we understand that, thrash metal. You'll probably be, that's rather off topic, so I think that's why you're getting blocked on that stuff. Citizen Kane, Quentin is saying man up and to play Les Paul. I think he would say man up to play like a 70s Les Paul with the pancake body that weighs like 13, 14 pounds.
Ouch.
I know I'm not man enough to play one. Unless I'm sitting down. And up with Les Paul shoulder.
Oh, it looks like Soda Pop's out.
See ya, Soda Pop. Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
Put another video up.
Zipfix Guitar says, I have 2 solid wood guitars, a 1935 Gibson L50 and an Epiphone Masterbuilt NC. Great sounding. Oh, yeah, they would be. Nice. Some nice stuff. And a 71 gold top. Ooh, yeah. Standard or deluxe? Yeah, 1 fret's still a little high on this thing. I'm playing it in. Dave told me to play it in, so. Hey, Larry Riker. Good to see you, man.
Hey, Larry.
Yeah, I swear those pancake 70s Les Pauls, like, I swear, you know, the glue must be denser than the wood and way more because when they layer all those pieces of wood together and they're just so solid.
Well, a lot of guys.
Guitar hack. Somebody asked about that. I've been basically offline for a week, so I'm not aware of it. So we're curious on it. I need to get my hands on one.
If you ask Dave from Dave's Roll of Fun Stuff, he says that when a headstock is broken, depending on how it's broken, the glue's stronger than the wood.
Yep.
So he's like, the actual repair actually
increases
the stiffness.
Well, I can say firsthand, if you go on way back on the channel, it's either the 2nd or 3rd show that we ever did. We talk about, because Rich's 335, he's broke the headstock off it twice. And the first time he broke it off, let's say, behind the 1st fret. The second time it broke was further down, which shows that its original repair held.
Right.
See you, BV? It is, what, pushing 3 a.m. where he is. Yes, thrash metal. Old Man Dan, that's what half his channel is dedicated to, is his charity work. Yeah, I gotta get you starting down that rabbit hole of pedals. I'll set you up with a pedal board or two. Actually, if we look right there is my old pedal board, so I could sell you a loaded pedal board. Just do virtual shopping. Okay, yeah, that one. Nope, nope. 2 more over. Yeah, I want that one. Dave asked if anybody's caught any of the Steve Vai stuff the last 3 days. I didn't. Dave, if you didn't notice, I've been missing from the chat on Friday and stuff. Richie got married yesterday, so Wednesday and Thursday was a trip to the cottage, 2 days for the bachelor party. Then Friday was the rehearsal. Then yesterday was the big day, and today was just me catching up from that. I've been basically on the go starting Wednesday and just never stopped. Pedals are dangerous, be warned, Guitar Hack says. I know. Shh. Shh. Trying to corrupt them. I will pass that along, Dave. Even my dad asked me, he's like, so you're going to be looking for a new band now that Rich is getting married? It's like, come on. You know, like, they've already been living together for a few years. Like, I won't bat an eye until if they, you know, have kids. Then, you know, because that's the next major variable.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because let's be honest, you know, it's just a piece of paper, really, when they've already been together for years. And
I keep telling my wife that. It's just a piece of paper.
Just a piece of paper. Says the single guy, right? It's just a piece of paper. Yeah, anybody got any eyes on new pedals or new gear? I saw Cheddar Kung Pao got a Friedman guitar. Man, that thing's nice.
So, Ben, I might have asked you this before. Is there any guitar that you've always really loved and you finally got it in your hands, and you're like, man, it's just not for me, but I like it, but it just, you know, you wouldn't buy it? Because mine is, I love the Flying V, because most of the guys that I love playing metal have them, but they're never comfortable when I play them. I don't know, maybe I should get a strap and wear it around my neck first, and then the same with the Explorer. I just love that look of the Explorer.
Yeah, like just a, there was, if you want to call it like a disappointment, you know,
sure,
for lack of a better term, SGs, because they're just too uncomfortable for it. Until I played Riches, you know, like if I can find one without the headstock dive, that's the big thing. But also the Gibson Firebird, I found really awkward to play.
Okay, that's kind of like a weird kind of shape. It's not Explorer,
everything's so forward. Everything's just so forward, and it was. Yeah, it was like it almost felt like everything was so forward that when I strummed, it was hit and miss whether I was going to strum in front of or behind the bridge.
Okay.
You know, it was just it just didn't feel right for me.
It's kind of stretched out, right? Like up towards the front, like the way.
Yeah, it just seems like everything's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. I'm not. Yeah, I played a V. Was it a vintage V? I think. So maybe somebody in the chat can clear it up. Like, we know that they brought out a few Vs and Explorers back in the 50s, but did they not start reissuing Vs in the 70s Gibson? Because I think I played a 70s Gibson V. Corona. Like, it seemed to me it was a Corona V I played. I dug it because it had its own tone, that's for sure. Dave says, hey guys, I'm going to have some brand new guitars for sale. I'm going to be helping my buddy who's a dealer out. Nice.
Cool.
So that would be, is that just the Nags or is that above and beyond the Nags? Because those Nags are nice. Ooh, an SG, 24 fret SG. That'd be interesting.
So Thrasher's talking about Vs. I've never had one like that. I've had a buddy that owned one, and I was able to put a guitar strap on and play it. I just at the like Guitar Center kind of places or the pawn shops. It's always felt uncomfortable, and I know that the way that it kind of wedges into your leg, it just never felt.
Well, yeah, you got to play in the classical position. That's the key to a V. You just sit in the classical position.
But sitting down, I never had, you know, or they were never nice enough. Now the one I wish I had bought, even though it wasn't probably very good quality, it was a really, really old Dean, and it looked like it was beat up pretty good, but there was no amp to plug it into. And the guy wanted $200 for it, and I'm like, it looks like it would play, and it sounded good on the strings. And then
if I had the right amount of cash in my pocket, I'd have a hard time passing up a $200 Dean, probably.
You know,
I'd be like, oh, I'll be able to sell it to Joe Heidig.
He plays sitting.
He's
the guy that practices
out of this area. Who's actually doing a side project from he's on the channel here. He was plays in Non-Existent, but he's doing a side project actually with my drummer Shane.
Okay.
Shane's playing bass. Joe's on guitar. Yeah, they're just like literally just in talks right now. Who plays sitting? I recorded my whole album sitting. Yeah, because I found if I sat, I could get right in with the guitar. But then again, like even now, this is essentially in the classical position. It's like resting the guitar on your left leg instead of the right. I've always, I haven't always played in the classical position, but I spent a lot of time playing in the classical position over the years.
I'll be right back, Ben.
Sure. Alrighty, Groovy Ghoulie. Have a good one, buddy. If I could, I'd always play sitting thrash metal. Kick it Steve Ray Vaughan style. Or Skunk Baxter. He played sitting down. And so, Dave, you're saying Nags and the... Oh, some USA DNMLs. Nice, nice. Very nice. Right, Terry. Yeah, a lot of blues players. Have a good one, Frank. Thanks for tuning in. Always a pleasure, buddy. Oh, there's a little out. Yeah, half deaf too. Jeez. Too much hanging out with Shane at the DJ table at the wedding last night next to the speakers. Excuse me. So we got a gig coming up this coming Friday. Should be interesting. Rich is getting back from his honeymoon on Thursday night around 10 or 11 at night. Hey, buddy Ollie. So, yeah, and we're doing a benefit celebration of life for Hot Wheels, Phil Cook. Huge supporter of local music scene that passed away recently. So, looking forward to celebrating his life and playing some good music, sharing the stage with some awesome musicians, and it should be a good time. Yep, I'm aware, buddy. I just read your message. Yeah. That's why I kind of referenced it earlier. Dave R's Guitars. Hope you're having a great weekend. I hope everyone's had a great weekend. Back to the grind of Monday tomorrow, right? Yay, fun stuff. If you guys have any questions at all, I'm trying to think of anything to talk about. But my brain's been mush after a week of hanging out with Richie.
So I did a little bit of a cleanup. I guess what I can do, Ben, is I can show you my new music / extra computer area that I built.
Sure.
Hopefully the camera can show it.
See you, David Ennis.
Don't mind the mess. Didn't really plan on doing a show and tell, but
that's exactly it, Guitar Hack. I need a week to recover from the weekend. Ooh. Here, actually, why don't I present you? There we go.
Well,
there's...
And then I built this recently. It's just a desk area. My son can work, and there's my guitar.
There we go. Very nice, very nice. I recognize that Ibanez.
That's where my dog sleeps when I work.
Recognize that.
There, or
Checker as well. Well, there we are, folks. A little tour of Wayne's practice area. Stop presenting. Let's stop presenting. There we go. Well, he works in IT, thrash metal. That's yeah, he would have some computer gear. Have you ever removed your tone pot and just used the volume instead? Think about replacing tone with a kill switch. Thoughts? Yeah, it will change the tone of your guitar. Bypassing a tone pot altogether will definitely change it from runny. Even if your tone pot is all the way open all the time, it still will sound not a huge difference, but it will make a slight difference. I have... Yeah, just my Kramer's the only one that I have that doesn't have a tone pot. But I run everything wide open. I'm not a volume rider very often. I ride my tone a little bit at times, but that's more if I can't get to my amp or something. And usually it's just temporary, and then I end up running wide open after I tweak my amp. Because I'm just one of those guys. I try to keep it simple. So if I have everything wide open, I can just reach down. If I think something's off, just make sure my pots are up all the way. If something else sounds off, which is usually, like if I notice there's a little lack of gain, I just want to make sure my volume pedal's all the way forward, because sometimes, you might knock it and bring it back a touch. He's even muting the vape, folks.
It can get loud.
Well, I suppose, yeah, you have the mic right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like one tunnel.
Yeah. And since when do I spend that much on a guitar?
I'm just saying, and that's the way I think, right? It's my job.
Hell, there's guys that spend easily a couple grand on a set of tires for their car.
I've done that too. I'm just like a guitar guy with computer stuff, right? Like, if my wife ever sells my stuff, I hope she doesn't sell it for what I told her I paid for it, because it's worth a lot more. So
I like Terry's equation. So my signature guitar is equivalent to 3 24-inch LCD monitors and a high-end video card. Oh, a Dean ML want to add the Buckethead arcade kill switch. There you go.
That's cool.
Oh.
I've watched a lot of the Buckethead videos. He's an amazing guitarist. He's got some really good videos.
Yeah.
Are there some good videos of him playing? Did he play with GNR for a little while when Slash left?
Yep. Yeah, he basically did that Slash's role. And from what I heard, he's one of those guys that, let's say back in the day when they used to bring in, musicians to play parts or lay down tracks for other musicians, maybe because they had a bit of an issue with the bottle or something like that.
Right.
And I'm not thinking just, everyone knows Ace Frehley, but there was a lot of bands that did it, or, even prior to that, there was a lot of times, you buy an album, like, for instance, The Kinks, and that's Jimmy Page all over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They brought in session players and they just put the band out and, you just learn the material by the time the tour starts type thing.
Is that where he started off with doing session work? Jimmy Page?
Jimmy Page? Yeah. Yeah. He was a bit of a child prodigy doing, what do they call that? Wiffle music? Something like that. Kind of a shuffle type acoustic based music. And then he got into session work, and that's where he met John Paul Jones. They were both session players.
Okay.
So, yeah, he played on tons of stuff. Tons of stuff.
I don't think I've ever really watched a good Led Zeppelin documentary. I mean, I love their music, but I don't think I've ever seen it's probably because, when they were in their prime, 70s, and they probably had tons and tons of docs. When I was a kid, I wanted to watch Star Wars when I was.
But that's the thing. There wasn't a lot. Skiffle music. Thank you, Guitar Hack.
Okay, Skiffle.
There wasn't a ton of documentaries, let alone music documentaries.
Yeah.
There just wasn't a lot of documentaries. But, it's so much easier now. Anybody can make a documentary.
Yeah, true.
It look decent with your phone, right? But when we're talking actual tape, actual equipment, basically, just off the top of my head, you had The Song Remains the Same, which was kind of quasi concert with some, background stuff. You had the Woodstock movie, which again, primarily a concert film, but with additional footage thrown in, or The Last Waltz, and you didn't really see a lot of band documentaries. And then, then there was like Let It Be, you see a lot of the footage from the recording that album. And there's a lot of stuff like these documentaries were made and maybe they were shown once on public television or something. Because I'm just trying to think of the outlet, because you think like Pink Floyd, you can find a lot, making a Dark Side of the Moon and, lots of Pink Floyd stuff. Well, who was shooting this and for what reason, right? And that was the thing with the BBC, especially. The BBC, they had so many divisions that they were really good at chronicling.
I've watched Metallica ones. I've watched a couple like on Slipknot and Megadeth. Some other bands too. I think I watched one on maybe not a full documentary, but a pretty good video anyway on Pantera.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
you do you can see a good portion of the series, like the behind the music, even.
Okay.
But they're kind of sanitized. They're sanitized in some ways and sensationalized in other ways.
Okay.
I know I read a lot of autobiographies and stuff like that, or biographies, and half the time, it's sad to say the biography is better than the autobiography,
right?
Because you got a professional doing research as opposed to someone who's trying to remember what they did 25 years ago when they were an addict on something or the other, or all of the above, or like I think it was Slash's book. He's prefaced that right at the beginning of the book, like, look, I had a good time. I don't remember a lot of stuff. So this is to the best of my knowledge. This is what happened. There's Ace Frehley's book, same deal. He's like, to the best of my knowledge, this is what happened. So yeah. Speaking of which, did you happen to see that footage going around on Facebook of Stephen Pearcy last week?
No.
It was bad. It
really?
was bad.
Last week was Metallica. I forget what the guy's name plays bass, but him and Kurt Hammett played When the Doves Cry, and they.
Oh yeah!
Wow, that was almost like I'd have to delete that from memory. That was hey, they can play anything, but they can't play When Doves Cry by Prince.
Yeah,
it was atrocious.
Yeah, Stephen Pearcy almost falling over.
Okay.
Barely sitting on the front of the drum riser, like hand on hip, just way off key, and you can hear the rest of the band is trying to help him. They were all on key in the chorus and stuff, and he could barely mumble out the lines. Yeah, Superfuzz, you saw it. I guess he did issue an apology afterwards. It's like those guys, I know they're doing it for the money. We know they're purely doing it for the money, because it's like you reach a certain amount of notoriety, no matter what you ever do solo, you can add at least 1 0 onto the paycheck if you get the guys back together and you have the name behind you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, he's obviously still battling some demons somewhere. And he, I'm not, I hate to say, because I like to imbibe in alcohol myself and stuff, but he needs some help. He does need some help. Like, you could get away with a couple of those shows 35 years ago when they were opening for Ozzy, because Ozzy wasn't in much better shape, but come on. Especially the price with concert tickets these days, Even Rat, they're going to be charging you a nice chunk of change. Buddy Holly, have you seen Adam Levine play Purple Rain? No, I haven't.
What I didn't know was the guy that he didn't write Hallelujah, but the one guy who kind of popularized the modern version of how it's sung.
Mm-hmm.
He died on he drowned. He was I forget what his name, Jeff something is what his name is. Not Jeff Beck. I forget his last name. But yeah, he was out swimming with his buddies on a vacation, went into the water, and didn't come back. Didn't find his body for 4 days later.
Wow.
Don't know where that came from, but can you hear us, Cliff? So they always, whenever I think it's when Tune the Bell Tolls, they usually say something like that.
Yeah, I saw Thrash Metal. I saw Scott Ian was talking about that again, and the memorial of Cliff Burton's passing. That was a bad deal, and bad enough situation in the exact way it happened that that messed up two bands for a number of years. Because those Anthrax guys, they pulled up, they were right behind them, and Cliff was their friend too.
Yeah, and it's a horrible way to go too. I mean, Like, I mean, it's not like it was a drug overdose or, you know, even someone taking out of to be crushed by a bus, man.
Yep.
And they were sleeping, right, when it happened. I think they just, I think they were all sleeping, right?
Yeah, they were all sleeping, and
oh right, yeah. Thanks, Amanda. Yeah.
The driver
Buckley
probably fell asleep at the wheel, but nobody knows for sure. He says he hit a patch of ice, but there was no ice. He probably hit the shoulder, overcorrected, tipped the bus, and he went out the window, and then the bus followed, unfortunately. Or I should say through the window, yeah. And now you don't have windows up on the ends of your bus anymore. You put bars over the windows if there's bunks there and such, for that exact reason. So, yeah. Just a bunch of kids trying to entertain Sweden. Yeah, wow, it's been 32 years already. Wow.
Jeepers. Wow.
I remember that happened, like, I got into Metallica, like, the spring of 86. And so it was within months, and all of a sudden I'm like, what? And I don't even know if I even heard about it until, like, months later. You know, like reading about a hip parader, because it takes, like, 2 months, 3 months to publish, right?
Well, they had a huge investigation because of what happened with the bus, right?
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of, they couldn't say, like, they didn't, I'm sure, I think they released something, but they couldn't release that they had involvement. Like, I mean, I think they tried to get him. I don't remember. I forget. It's a long time ago, 32 years ago. But I thought they tried to get a crane out, but or something like that. Like, there was a whole bunch of details. Like,
oh no, he passed away instantly, and yeah, there's a standard investigation, but there's only so much you can investigate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can only talk to the driver of the bus so many times.
True. Very, very true.
Dave R. just saying, okay, yeah, you run everything on 10 as well. Yeah, turn down your toggle switch on a 3-way switch. If you turn down the neck pickup, you can use the switch as a kill switch. Yeah. That's true.
When's your next set of gigs? Richie's on kind of honeymoon territory. When do you guys have your next gig coming up?
This coming Friday. He gets into town 10 p.m. Thursday. We're gigging the next night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're doing a celebration of life. It's like, I don't know, 10 acts playing. It's at the Knights of Columbus in Trenton.
Oh, that's for a musician that passed away, right?
It was a gentleman. He had, I believe, MS, but he was a huge music fan and a huge supporter of the music scene.
Okay.
Very tight with my former band, One Day to Live. They're actually coming out to play. That'll be interesting. It's the first time I'm sharing the stage with my former bandmates since I left the band.
Okay.
So, yeah. They're going on after me, I think. Okay, see you, sis. Say goodnight to Sam for me. Soda Pop says Helix is a good band. Yep.
There was Helix, Annihilator, and there was a couple other metal bands in that era of the Helix in the late 80s.
Anvil and
Anvil.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh jeez. They were kind of the big three though for metal.
Yeah. Did you ever see any of them?
Well, I opened for Anvil.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
So yeah, I saw them. Annihilator, I missed on several occasions. Just logistically, something else was happening. They actually played in town here a couple of times on the way through. You know, that's the advantage. Well, you know, that's the advantage between Toronto and Montreal. They're either going to play Kingston or Trenton back in the day.
I think we saw whatever Platinum Blonde and Loverboy, and we got tickets for free. It was outside. It was at the Memorial Center when they used to have them. When it used to be around. And then we didn't see them, but we heard them. We heard them a few times. There's so many holes in the Memorial Center, you could just basically sit at the park and listen.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna when you're a teenager and you're broke? Who's gonna go pay for tickets? You know.
Exactly.
You tell your girlfriend you want to go see a concert, and then you go sit on some lawn chairs.
Yeah. Actually, we were flirting with the idea of doing a Platinum Blonde cover.
Really, which one?
Not sure yet. Like, because we all have to agree. Like, I'm the biggest Platinum Blonde fan, so there's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 that I would probably play. Rich has a few that he likes. Larry's a fan. I wouldn't do it if Larry's probably played a gig with them, you know.
Oh, really?
On the same. Well, see, you know, like, you're familiar with the game, the 6 Degrees of Separation with Kevin Bacon?
Right.
We do the 6 Degrees of Separation of Canadian music with Larry Babcock.
Okay.
Because you can tie him in, whether it's he shared a bill with a band, he's jammed with a band, he knows one of the members of a band. You know, well, we were talking about that this year because one of the acts that was playing at Empire Rock Fest, Matt Mays.
Okay.
All right. So when Cocaine Cowgirl came out, which is the song that we also cover, you know, Larry was like, oh, yeah, you know, that's a good tune. You know, he's digging it. And so he heard that Matt Mays was from the coast, Nova Scotia, East Coast, for those who don't know. And so, you know, he was talking to one of his buddies, bandmates down there. You know, he's like, hey, you know, this guy Matt Mays, you know, he seems to be pretty good, eh? And they're like, oh, yeah, funny enough story. They said, what's that? And he's talking to like his old guitar player, the last band he was in. And he's like, yeah, you know, yeah, when you left to move to Ontario, we hired Matt Mays as your replacement in the band. And he played with them as a side project for, you know, a number of months or whatever till he started taking off doing the solo stuff. So, you know, so like, you know, there's, and especially if you talk about a BC band.
Okay.
Because it would be like, let's say 5440's playing at the Commodore. Well, there's members of the Odds are there, and, you know, and a bunch of other bands, you know, Spirit of the West, whomever, right? You'll have like 2 or 3 members because we're all Vancouver bands, and if they're not gigging, then you go down, check it out. Yeah. So he'd be hanging out with, you know, oh yeah, you know, like the Age of Electric guys, and he knew, you know, one guy from that band, he knew somebody from this band and that band. And it's just like, holy crap.
6 Degrees of Larry.
Yeah. Hey, Suave Trainwreck, good to see you. And Brian Cote, Iron bassist. Soda Pop says, I hate that song Cocaine Cowboys. Cocaine Cowgirl or Cocaine Cowboys? Because Cocaine Cowgirl is the Matt May song. We do it a little different. It was one of those songs I said, what are the chords? And Rich said the whole song is E minor, C, and G. And I play just the sloppy, like kind of Neil Young open chords, partial chords with random overdriven big country bends and stuff in that kind of Neil Young-esque feel. So for me to play it by myself, it's terrible.
But you get to fill the band in.
Yes, that would be correct. Thrash metal, yes, the Cocaine Cowboys back in the day. No, they built the Miami skyline in the 80s. All that money.
Speaking of rock, is it rock the Northbrook or whatever it was? I don't know. I forget the name. I'm tired. I haven't had a lot of sleep today. But there's a band called the Odd Ones.
Okay.
And they were really, really good. And they're out of Toronto, and it's a female singer, and the bass guitar, the lead guitar, and the female singer are all Asian. And I just they had the most energy of any band I've ever seen. She sings in every one of the songs, and she's awesome. If you like, and there's not that many metal female singers, right? She was really good. So if you haven't heard of them, check them out. They're called the Odds.
Cool.
Or the Odd Ones.
Yeah, I was going to say the Odds, I know.
Yeah, it's the Odd Ones.
Soda Pop is not a fan of Matt May's music. Well, that's fine. To each their own. Have a good one, Guitar Hack. I'll try to tune into your show tomorrow. If not, I'll definitely catch it on the replay. Okay, Suave Trainwreck. Pulse Ultra from Montreal. That rings a bell, yeah. We used to get a lot of Montreal bands coming through here.
Well, there used to be a really big heavy metal like
Still
Montreal
is.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, even the tribute bands, from the Voodoo Fest, a lot of the guys come out and sing. Then when they speak on the mic, they have a French accent.
Yeah.
Even the
guys, it's almost like Montreal in some respect is similar to like Japan, where they just throw themselves into the music so much. Like Japan just takes everything to the extreme. And it'd be like, you notice a lot of tribute bands coming out of Montreal, like hardcore, full on. We're gonna look like them. We're gonna sound like them. Mark Taylor says, I interviewed Jeff Waters from Annihilator for a local music mag back in the 80s. Cool dude. Right on. Yeah, they had some success south of the border. Not even going to touch it, thrash metal. I don't discuss any kind of religion on this channel. To each their own. All it does is divide people when you get into those type of conversations, so I'll leave that one.
Yeah, like the band that did Alice in Chains. I think they're called All in Chains or something like that. But man,
no, that was last weekend, right?
Yeah, last weekend.
Yeah, so I'm just curious, if I go into work tomorrow, is the poster still up in the shop?
I haven't been. No, I was there this week. You weren't there. I had to get. Actually, who's the young guy that takes your place when you're not around?
Brett.
Brett.
Hey, Brett, if you're watching, he watches sometimes on replay.
I stopped in. He's like, "Did you need anything?" I'm like, "I just thought Ben was here," and he's like, "Okay, man." And he's like, later. I think I was in there talking with him for about a half an hour, but he was probably pretty bored because it was I was there for half an hour. No one showed up. So if you're there, hey Brett, it's nice talking to you.
Yeah.
You see more of me probably.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think I got the bracket in for my Les Paul pickguard, so I can mount that, which is awesome. Of course, because the stuff comes in when I go away, right? I never said I disliked Megadeth. I'm not a huge Metallica fan, nor a huge Megadeth fan. I preferred Metallica. And even then, it's literally like I dug the first album. I liked Master of Puppets. Ride the Lightning, it was my third favorite, and that's kind of it for me. Well, and I didn't mind the Garage Days EP, actually. I dug the Garage Days EP. But
if Ben's talking about
Metallica, I went, hey, everybody has a bad album. Then the Black Album came out, and I went, nope. And then by that time, I was pretty much out of thrash. It's kind of like, you like what you like. Like I like the 3 Metallica albums. I liked the Peace Sells album from Megadeth. So Far So Good So What was decent as well. And I liked Anthrax a fair amount as well. That was kind of it for when it got into metal or thrash and stuff like that for me. Because I liked some of the hooks and riffs. I'm not into the shred stuff. That's not really my deal. And I actually can tolerate Kirk Hammett. That sounds so bad. I don't dislike him, but he does a lot of blues riffs, and I don't mind some of the wah stuff because I can hear the blues in it. So that's kind of me.
No. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me when Ben was speaking, but if Ben talks about Metallica or Megadeth, it's usually because I'm the one that brings the topics up. Yeah, those are my bands.
Yeah. Like I'll still groove on it. Like I have a smattering of their music, on my phone because I listen to most of the music on my phone. But I'm just really into British rock and roll lately. I've been on a real Ronnie Wood kick. I've been listening to his solo 70s solo albums a fair amount. I was listening to, well, I don't know if you want to call it shred, but after Larry Mitchell appearing so much on Johnny's channel, I was listening to a fair amount of Larry Mitchell at work before I left. Hey, Romeo Delight. All is well. Yes, all is quite well. We got Richie married, so all is good. You can hear blues in Hammett. Oh, yeah, a lot. That a lot of sped up blues licks repeated with lots of wah, like you would do in blues. I hear it. You know, you can hear the classical stuff too, but not as much. I think definitely he's more classical or more blues based than classical, whereas a lot of people are more classical. Hey, Broken Chains. I kind of referenced Broken Chains earlier when I mentioned the Stephen Piercy video because it was him that shared it on Facebook when I saw it. I had some downtime. I think it was while the guys were off golfing. So I hopped on Facebook and I was like, oh, dear Lord. Yeah, Suave Trainwreck says Blackmore had an interesting style. Yeah, because he could really flip-flop rather seamless between classical and blues, which is not easy to do. Not necessarily all in the same solo per se, but definitely on an album. He could go more classical or more blues. Soda Pop, so who's some of your guitar heroes? It changes over time, I think, and it's more like I discover more of their playing in my playing when I revisit music. What got me started was Ace Frehley, Eddie Van Halen, and my dad. For a variety of reasons, and not necessarily even the playing, just much their personalities as anything else. But these days, definitely Izzy Stradlin, definitely Rick Richards, and Ronnie Wood. Those are the kind of trifecta, because that's what I'm kind of honing my playing style around. I've been getting more away from, say, blues and more into rhythm and blues. So I'm not soloing in a minor. I'm usually soloing in a major. I leave all the minor stuff to Rich, and I'll do all the major stuff. So I've been listening to very much Stray Cats again, too. A lot of solo stuff from Izzy Stradlin, like, say, Ronnie Wood. Stones, obviously. I always listen to my Stones. But then getting into, like, some George Benson as well. Oh, Richie Kotzen, Monster Player. We were listening to him the other night at the bachelor party. There's a good one. Our Mount Rushmore guitar players. Can you pick 4 that you would put up there without causing too much controversy, Mayhem?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, so David Gilmour is one of my favorite guitarists.
Yep.
But I mean, I like a mix. I like old rock. You know, if I had to pick 4, David Gilmour, Jimmy Page. I don't know if people like this, but you know, James Hetfield. I just love that kind of chug metal music. And for the 4th, I think Slash would be like from my high school era of favorite music. And I know Slash is a bit of a mix of Jimmy Page and blues and rock, but I mean those are my 4.
I'm gonna say Eddie Van Halen because he inspired a generation. Hendrix because he inspired a generation. Clapton because he inspired a generation. So like as much as I want to put Jimmy Page up there, I think Clapton kind of covers the blues rock side of things just as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And generally, if you like one, you kind of dig the other. For my 4th, I'm gonna put Chuck Berry.
If I was gonna do like you know, the one I recently picked up the most, and I can't remember who it might have been. It might have been Showman Blues, but someone was talking about Albert King, and I heard BB King and I never really
Freddie King,
but I never really heard Albert King, and I started watching a bunch of his videos, and I'm like, man,
I remember that, because you came in the shop a few days later. I'm like, so what have you been grooving to? You're like, Albert King, man. I'm just listening to Albert King all the time.
It's so awesome. Just the way the notes go together is really the way he plays. You know, it's bluesy, but it's those 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and then he mixes it up with the 1 2 3. Or I don't really know the pacing of it, but you know what I mean. You can kind of tell like the way the riffs and the blues go, and I was just like, it's so rhythmic. There's so much melody, and he's playing like a lead solo, you know, and it's like music. It's not just, you know, it's not just thrash, you know, what I normally would like, you know, where it's a bunch of like wah and you know, fast picking. I just was like blown away. It was kind of like you know, door in your mind opens up and you're like, wow.
Right.
And then because it's older music, you hear the influence now of other people playing it.
Yeah.
So you're like, I've heard that before, just not play with that much, D string, but or overdrive or whatever, or compression.
Oh
But
yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, I was always into that. Like, you're reading, it's like when you'd sit and listen to an album and you're reading every line of the liner notes, right down to the songwriting credits. And then, you find out, you start seeing the same names appear because they're covering an Albert King or whatever, right?
Yeah.
When the Stones would do a cover or whomever. And then you check out the original because, like, for me, we got a lot of old blues records here and stuff. And, you start digging back, or I talk to my dad about it and be like, hey, well, guess what? You're going to stay up Saturday night. You're going to watch Austin City Limits because I got some blues guys on this week. And you're like, oh, all right, cool. Like, was the first time I saw John Hammond play, I think. John Hammond? Yes. Amazing player. Amazing player. Can't even describe his style, but it made me want to just sell everything.
I remember when we used to stay up to watch SNL, kind of skipped through it, didn't really pay much, but we loved it when they, I remember when Rage Against the Machine played for the first time on SNL, and Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, who else? Pearl Jam. That whole era.
Yeah.
I don't believe Guns N' Roses ever played on Slash.
And it's funny because I remember, like, say, sitting around the same time frame, we'll say, early to mid 90s. And my friends would be like, yeah, Stone Temple Pilots on. And I'm like, yeah, but who's sitting in with the band? Because you'd always see guys just coming and sitting in with the band even.
Yeah.
And it'd be Clapton or something like that, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, and that's who I like. My highlight of the show every week, as much as I loved a lot of the sketches, because it was the second golden age type thing with the Mike Myers years or whatever you want to call it, the early 90s. But man, that house band, that was the highlight, because I grew up, one of my favorite movies that I watched on rotate was the Blues Brothers. So a good rhythm and blues band, in their suits with their horns. And I'm just like, oh yes. Still to this day, one of my dreams is to play with the horn section.
I remember when Eddie Murphy was on SNL. I feel really old, but I remember when Eddie Murphy was on there. Yep. Dan Aykroyd. Then I saw Adam Sandler. I seen all Will Ferrell's era.
See you, Super Fuzz.
I don't watch the show anymore. I haven't watched it in probably the last two
easy
or 3 years.
20 years for me. Easy.
I used to watch it. I used to actually video record it. I'd never watched it Saturday Night Live, but I'd always used to record it on the satellite dish, the receiver. And then sometime during the week, I'd watch. I'd just kind of skip through the skits a little bit, see the opening part. And then I think actually last time I watched it was their 40th or 50th anniversary, the real big one with Jimmy Fallon hosted it. But even David Letterman, he put in a lot of good
he
bands.
broke a lot of bands.
Foo Fighters. He's also got some notorious. If you look at some notorious band moments live on stage, David Letterman has a couple in there too, where the guys were just hammered and then came out and just wrecked the stage.
Hey Zach, Broken Chains says you would tape a Headbangers Ball on SNL and SNL on 2 VCRs. Yeah, for us was 4 p.m. Thursdays was the Pepsi Power Hour. On Much Music, 4 p.m. on Thursdays, as I would get home from school at 10 to 4 to record the 1 hour video. And I remember dubbing it for friends because living in a rural area, they didn't have much music. And so it was like you would record, 2 episodes. So every 2 weeks, I'd be exchanging videotapes, and they get 2 hours worth of music videos. And then they'd be that far back. Like, did you see the new Motley Crue video? Yeah, the one that came out 3 weeks ago. Yeah, we saw it. Yep. But yeah, that was great. Hosted by J.D. Roberts, who's now John Roberts, who works for one of the U.S. networks as a news anchor. Which I always get a kick out of because I see him doing like network news in the U.S. and I'm like, he used to host a heavy metal show on Canadian music TV.
Yeah, I saw the Sinead O'Connor performance live too. Yeah, one of the questions was, How about pick the right hand of a guitar player you'd want, and then pick the left hand of a guitar you would want. So left and right hand. I don't know.
I don't know, but the best combination of both hands, I'm gonna have to give it to Eddie, because Eddie had this. He could do all the slinky runs, but man, he's a hell of a rhythm player.
I'd take Eddie's feet. He can probably play better with his feet than I can with my hands.
Broken Chain says they played much music in the U.S. as well. Really?
Did they really?
Speaker's Corner. Yeah, I used to do Speaker's Corner. Remember what band got broken by on Speaker's Corner?
Nope.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh, really?
Yep. They, I believe because you paid, well, it cost $1, and they did Yoko Ono.
Oh, really?
Yep. And they had all 5 of them crammed into the booth.
That band, that's had a lot of trouble. Like that Bare Naked Ladies, they can't seem to stay together.
Oh, they only had one band member leave.
I thought they were plagued with problems.
No.
The 2 main guys, the heavier set dude and the guy that...
Oh, yeah, Stephen Page left a number of years ago, but he was allowing certain outside extracurricular activities, token rock star activities to get in the way, whereas the other guys weren't as much into that. And one of the members also, I believe, battled cancer on and off for a number of years.
Okay.
But the core other 3 have always maintained, and they still do stuff, but they're at the point now where they do, from what I've heard, because I haven't heard of the Bare Naked Ladies touring in years, they still do a ton of corporate events.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they show up, play for 2 hours, and get $100,000. Because think about it, Bare Naked Ladies is such easygoing, vanilla, not hurt anybody music.
Yeah, for sure.
That you can book them anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Mark Knopfler is incredible, blows my mind. Yeah, Mark Knopfler is incredible. Hey, Guitar Girl. Yeah, we're going for a few more minutes. We've been on for what? Almost 2 hours. Figure I'll wrap it up at 10 o'clock. Oh, yeah, speaking of Yoko Ono singing, geez, we were thinking, which shows that we may have been under the influence during the bachelor party. One of the guys wants to get a hurdy-gurdy.
Okay.
Okay, have you ever seen a hurdy-gurdy? It's like you crank it and it drones, and then you play. There's like notes you can play as well.
Sure. Yeah,
I thought the perfect thing to accompany this Middle Eastern droning machine would be a didgeridoo. And we're going to be the droniest band ever, and then we're going to get an Inuit throat singer as our front person.
No.
And if you're not familiar, folks, with Inuit throat singing, I recommend you check it out after this. Yeah, and I know a lot of you folks have been putting up videos over the last week. I've got so much YouTube to check up on, or catch up on, or both. Check and catch up.
Hey, Zach. I didn't see.
Zitar would be cool. Yeah. You can play drop D to a didgeridoo. Interesting. Yeah. Needless to say, we weren't sober during the entire bachelor party. There were sober times. Hey, Fender Guru.
The whole point is being sober, right? The whole point.
Well, I also realized, like, I never actually got drunk, and I have no desire to ever really get blitzed again in my life. Like, I was happy just sipping beers, being nice and tipsy type thing, and having great conversations. And
I'll tell you, when I went and seen Guitar Hack go play, drinking beer between the sets, I had to consciously because you're not talking to, but I'm just sitting there at the bar, kind of just watching the band play. The beer was tasting really well. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
be a little bit careful here because I got to drive home.
Yeah,
I'm not Ubering from Port Hope.
Yes, I was pretty sober when I was literally, I think I had one beer and a few sips out of my second when I took out the screen door. So, Will Silly Guitars, hello, welcome. Well, that's cool if you partake in that. I Don't have a problem with that.
Neither will most of Canada.
As I always say, whatever rubs your Buddha.
Neither will Canada in about 17 days from now, 18 days. I think that's the date. Although I think from that Voodoo concert, the running joke, Ben, was, did they legalize it already? Because all you could, and it was windy Friday.
Yeah,
that's all you could smell. It was just like nonstop. So it was like that was the kind of the running joke. Every band that come out and go, did we miss the date? Did they already legalize it? Because it seems like people are pretty much don't care.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of kids there at that event, which
yeah, keep it low.
You know, come on, everybody knew there's kids up front. A lot of the kids that play instruments, right, for the Lon, is it their Rockstar Academy or something like they have for Lon McQuaid? I think
Right.
The kids get an opportunity to play on stage. That's part of the deal, right? Is that they get to practice or whatever, and then they can play.
Let's see. Old Man Dan, I drink O'Doul's or Beck's, non-alcoholic. I have no desire for any buzz. I ride my bike for my high. Nothing wrong with that. The O'Doul's was flying last night. Both the groom and one of the groomsmen are both sober, so they were partaking in quite a few O'Doul's last night. And it was nice that the venue had O'Doul's available. Yeah. And I'm starting to see that more in bars now, too. Like, sure, they'll charge the same for a non-alcoholic beer as a regular beer. And I get that. It just keeps it easy on the bar staff. It's not a special price, whatever. A beer's a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you decide to have alcohol in it or not, that's fine. But, and if a bar, like if we play in a bar that doesn't serve non-alcoholic beer, Rich will usually bring a 6-pack with them, and they have no problem putting it on ice for them. Hey, Michael B.
I think Thrash is writing a metal song.
Yeah.
It sounds like lyrics.
It sounds. You should write that stuff down, Thrash Metal. You got some lyrics there. I don't know if it's really for the chat, but to each their own on opinions on stuff. Sure. We're just here to talk music. So if you guys have any other questions in the chat, feel free to ask. If not, we'll probably wrap it up in the next few. We've got 26 people watching. I want to say thank you to everyone watching. And if you're new, please subscribe. If you like or tolerated us at least, please leave a thumbs up. What's my favorite beer? Hey, now that is, I consider that guitar related. I enjoy a Labatt's Blue soda pop. That's my beverage of choice. I don't know Eddie because I'm not a dog person.
So mine's Rickard's Red. If they have that on tap, I'll usually get Rickard's Red or get an Alexander Keith's.
It's funny you mentioned Keith's because we had a lot of East Coasters at the wedding. And at the rehearsal dinner, they're like, where's the Keith's? Because we had a big cooler set up, right? We had donaires to eat, and everyone's like, where's the Keith's? I was like, you might want to talk to Rich's brother. He's like, why? We had a case of Keith's at the start of the bachelor party. Because basically we took all the leftover booze from the bachelor party and took that for supplying the booze for the rehearsal dinner. And they were actually surprised at how much booze we still had. And it was like, you didn't see how much we started with.
Old man Dan said, no Molson. Molson products give me a headache. I don't know what it is. I'd have two beer and I'll have a headache.
They had Canadian, and what's that, the bar last night? They had Canadian, Coors Light, Budweiser, which is the three you always have, and then fortunately they had some Bud Light as well, and I was drinking Bud Light.
I drank Budweiser or Canadian, whatever. I was never a Labatt's guy, unless the bar was like, you know, some bars, the brewery is a sponsor, so they have like Labatt's Blue and all that.
The only time I drink Molson product is when I play the Duke in Belleville, because they have Molson Pilsner on tap. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yes, Pilsner, yes, because I prefer a Pilsner over a lager. So, and Broken Chains has been drinking PBRs lately. You're really assimilating down south, aren't you, buddy? I couldn't resist, brother. Couldn't resist. Yeah, Yunling. Oh, oof. I almost drank a whole PBR once.
Not a Miller fan or a Bush.
Bush. I used to drink Bush and Bush Light. For the same reason, I switched to Blue and Blue Light because I found they were the closest tasting between regular and light beer. Like I find if I drink a Blue, I can switch to Blue Light, and I don't really notice a difference after the first beer. And then I found the same with Bush beer. But ironically enough, I stopped drinking Bush when I started vacationing down south because even though they sponsored a NASCAR series for years, everyone hated Bush beer.
Really?
Like, how do you drink that? I'm like, I thought everybody drank this.
Well, my dad goes to the U.S. quite a bit. He likes to go across the border to go shopping, and he used to do the NASCAR thing. They'd go down once a year, and he loves Bush beer, but it's got to be American. It can't be like the Bush beer that's made in Canada.
Right.
He wants like the actual American brewed.
No soda pop, no Carling. Oh, you get what you pay for. There's a reason they sell Carling cheaper than any other beer. Oh.
So speaking of beer, I laughed. A friend of mine's from Wales and Great Britain, and the guys here were saying, "Hey, we're gonna go drink, and they're gonna drink Stella." And he's like, "Stella?" And he's like, "Show me a picture of the bottle." And he goes, "That's our Stella." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's an import." And he goes, "That's because he's been around." He's like, "That's our Labatt's 50." Like their Stella over there is like their garbage drink, but
right.
Import over here, guys just love it.
Well, it's like why do people drink Heineken? Because you can buy it all around the world.
True.
You know, that's why a lot of touring bands they would get into Heineken because you could go on tour and no matter where it was, you could have on your rider a case of Heineken. Oh, Wildcat! I remember Wildcat beer. Oh God.
What about what was it, Molson Triple X? Do you remember that stuff?
Yeah. All that did was cause fist fights.
Yeah. You called to get your shirt ripped.
Yeah. Exactly. Ugh. Tecate in the summer. Yeah.
I did try your vodka
in a Corona.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That little deadly after 4 or 5 of them, but they're pretty good.
No kidding, right? That's the problem. Yeah.
Did you also stick the wedge in it too? Take a big swig.
I never put any lime or anything in my Coronas.
I like a lemon. I like a lemon in it.
Oh yeah, I got into Jaeger a bit on Wednesday night. Oh. And moonshine. And beer.
Usually when we go to the bar, if it's going to be one of those nights, it starts off with like, who wants to do a shot of Zambuca? And then after that, there's some Jaeger, and then you hear the tequila, and you know, like tomorrow's going to be hell.
Yeah, I did some Jaeger, and I was like, oh God, I forgot how much I just like the taste of Jaeger. Oh.
The limes keep the flies out.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's why they started putting the limes, just to keep the flies out of their beer. The Dan Aykroyd Skull Vodka, yeah, it's pretty good.
I've got a bottle of it in my garage. That's my wife's favorite.
Yeah, we got into the Mountain Kool-Aid on Wednesday night. I don't think I touched it the next night. I might have. Actually, yeah, I think it did come out right after dinner. That was our post-dinner aperitif. The mason jar went around the table, except for Rich. He didn't have any, of course.
Actually,
I don't think that'd be good going from no drinking to full-on moonshine. That probably would have knocked him on his butt.
Speaking of the Voodoo Fest, I realized I don't have what's the whiskey the little bottle that you carry.
Oh, a flask.
I don't have a flask. I gotta get one. I
have a flask somewhere.
Would have been nice to have one at Voodoo Fest. Because
somebody had a flask at the wedding last night. I was drinking straight whiskey, apparently.
Do you have a favorite whiskey, Ben? Are you a whiskey connoisseur?
Gibson's. I like Gibson's Finest. Used to be able to get, what was it called? 40 Acre? It had a cork in it as well. It was really nice. I could drink it straight.
40
let's say whiskey, if it's good, I can drink it straight. If not, with ginger ale. That's my... I was debating getting into the whiskey and ginger ale last night, but when it was $1.50 more a drink, I was just automatically like, well, that's going to definitely hit the wallet harder. Maybe I'll stick to beer. It takes up more room.
Yeah. I like Crown on the Rocks, or straight, or neat.
Crown Brown's a little too rich for me.
I don't mix it. If you mix it with soda.
Yeah. If I'm going to buy just a regular whiskey, though, it'd probably be Canadian Club. 10-year-old Canadian Club. Because I don't usually drink anything less than 10-year-old either. 10 or 12.
Terry, is that a zombie? The Kahlua and the milk and cream?
That sounds like a brown cow.
Okay, brown cow. Because I thought my wife had something that was like Kahlua, vodka, milk, and something else. Maybe tequila. And it's like called I think it's called a zombie or something. It
says vodka is my poison or whatever apple moonshine concoction that client gave me. You would enjoy Asheville Broken Chains. There's a lot of music in Asheville. I got friends in Asheville.
My favorite whiskey, though, is Gibson's, the aged stuff, though. It's expensive. It's the
Gibson's finest.
The finest. That stuff's really good.
Yeah, because it's, 18-year-old, too. Yeah, it's good stuff. Alrighty, gang. Well, I'm going to wrap things up here.
We good?
Yeah, I think we good. I think we're good. So if you just hold the line there, buddy. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We still got 26 crazies watching. Thank you very much. Please leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, again, please subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified when we put up some content. Not sure what the schedule will be as far as me going live this week, other than for sure there will be the Thursday night show where I'll have Guitar Hack as my co-host. And then after that, we have this coming Sunday will be the first Sunday of the month. So we'll have the monthly roundtable featuring myself, possibly Rich, Mr. BHB, Bruce, R2R3 Locking Nut, and JJ's House of Jams. Should be fun. We'll talk gear and show off some gear. I think we've all got gear since the last roundtable. And, of course, I want to thank Mayhem for coming on tonight. You have any parting words, sir?
Just thanks for tuning in, and it was really fun, Ben. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for doing a hangout. I was just thinking, it's been the better part of a week since I've gone live, so it's like, I need a co-host or I need someone to talk to.
Well, that's honestly felt like I was back at the shop because I haven't talked to you in about a week because you've been away, so it's felt like you're just at the shop.
Exactly. It's just been a whirlwind, so... Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. So, R2, there you go. I just gave you a shout out for the roundtable 1 week from tonight. Going to be awesome. So, as I always say, hold those doors open. Let that guy in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you. Everyone, be well to each other and have a great remainder of your weekend. We got 2 hours left on the East Coast. Have a good week, and I hope to see everyone on Thursday. And thanks for watching. Cheers.